And so no truly patriotic movement can have as its main aim making America's government weaker. We have to stop listening to people say, we hate the federal government, but we're patriots. The last time I heard the federal government was America's government. Patriots want America's government to be stronger. America's government should be stronger, strong enough to protect the American people. Number one. Number two, who we're fighting against? Very simple. Big military, the big banksters, and big oil. Very straightforward. One reason is that if we want to fix any of the problems in our country, we've got to be able to pay for it. There's only 3 places in American society right now that have any money. Halliburton is raiding the Pentagon every day. Those dollars should be redirected. And I'm glad to see we finally have a progressive movement that's not afraid to call for peace again. I'm glad to see we have a progressive movement that's not afraid to call for peace again. We've got to be clear about that. And stand for work and not war for our tax dollars. The banksters also have to be held to account. I'm glad we're going to have this reform for looking forward, but we need some restoration for right now, because these banksters believe that we owe them money. America doesn't owe the banksters. The banks owe America. We bailed them out in 2008, 2009. We bailed them out. And in 2010, they refused to bail us out. They're still throwing us out of our houses, jacking up our credit cards, won't give our students loans, won't give our bosses loans. If you had a neighbor that acted like these banksters, you wouldn't put up with it. Can you imagine a neighbor come to your house when they're broke? With their hand out, I'm broke. Give me some money. Can you imagine a neighbor going door to door to door and getting everybody's money in the neighborhood? And then the next week partying at the end of the block with all kind of debauchery? I don't want to offend the young people here, but you know. And then you go down there and say, well, good, yeah, we helped you out, you're all right. Now, can I borrow a cup of flour? And they laugh at you, say no, and slam the door. That's what's happening with the banksters. We bailed them out. Every one of these people who now tell you that you can't have a student loan and eject them, all of them would be homeless right now had we not bailed them out. There would be strange people walking around New York City. That's what they would be, strange people walking around New York City with little cups. And you would have to take your children to the side. Don't stare at them. Who are they? Shh. They're Wall Street bankers. Don't stare, don't stare. Don't stare at them. You bail them out. It's their turn now to be partners to us in rebuilding America. They have to be partners to us in rebuilding the country. They have to be partners to our young people who want a better future. It's not good enough just to reform what they do in the future. They need to restore what they did in the past. They owe us 8 million jobs and we want them back. And lastly, big oil. I'm as heartbroken as anybody about what's happening in the Gulf. But we have to take responsibility in our own country. We're the addicts. BP might be the pusher, but we're the addicts. And we are the ones who have pushed our energy workers to drill deeper and deeper holes in America's mountains in Appalachia to try to keep powering America in the same old way, risking their lives, losing their lives. We're the ones who've pushed our energy workers to drill deeper and deeper holes off our coasts. So keep on powering America in the same old way, risking their lives, losing their lives, deeper and deeper holes. But what we have to say as a country now is that America's future is not down those holes. America's future is not down those holes. If you want to see America's future, look up. Look at the sun and the solar power we could have here. Look at the skies and the wind, the Saudi Arabia of wind that we could have here, and put people back to work in Michigan and Detroit and Indiana and Ohio, building the wind turbines and the smart batteries and the solar panels and all the things that we need. If you want to see the future, look in the eyes of those workers who are sitting idle and could be building all the things that we need to power America in a new way. If you want to see the future, don't look down those holes. Look up. We've got to be willing to say that. And in closing, let me just say this, because I had to pray about this and think about this, because we are moving now into a period where we're trying to govern. Many of us will be trying to govern from below, but in a period of real breakdowns now. Not just a backlash politically, but real breakdowns in our system. And it's a sobering time. And you got to try to find hope and meaning where you can get it sometimes. And what I know is that when I see what happened with the Gulf, as horrible as it is, I'm trying to pull some meaning out for myself, and I'll share the meaning with you. Somebody somewhere in a company like BP that makes $63 million a day in profits, $63 million a day in profits, decided to save $500,000 and not put in a safety valve. That's what happened, a $500,000 safety valve. Now, I want you to know that the person who made that decision had no idea how much damage they were going to do. They didn't. They were just making a little bitty cheat, just a tiny, tiny cheat, just a little bitty, teeny weeny little cheat. Right? And then they got a really, really big problem, a huge, Lord have mercy problem. It's bigger. Lord, it's day 3 and it's still happening. Day 40, a little tiny, tiny cheat created this huge, nonlinear, insane, horrible outcome. Small action based on greed created nonlinear outcome, horrible consequences. That's a heartbreak. Here's the hope. In a rational universe, in a symmetric universe, if that's possible, if a small act based on greed can create that kind of negative, catastrophic, nonlinear bad outcome, then small actions based on love, small actions based on love can also create nonlinear, unexpected, extraordinary, beautiful outcomes too. Which means that when we go home, let's defend the fact that our movement has achieved something. Don't tear the president down. We say we want to hold him accountable. Hold him and keep him accountable. Don't kick him accountable, spit on him accountable. Hold him and keep him accountable. Don't surrender our achievement on the top-down side. But let's move forward on the bottom-up side too. Let's govern from below. And let's also move inside out and have the heart to say that we love this country, all of it, red states and blue states, crazy folks on the right, left, and in between. Our cousins at Thanksgiving, real crazy people. We have that much love. And we know that at the end of the day, it will be the love that we have for our country and the love that we have for this planet and the love that we have for the generations to come that will prevail. And no matter what these people do to us, no matter what they say about us, no matter what lies they tell, no matter what harm they cause, they will not get us to surrender our love for this country and our love for each other. And when it gets harder to love as we go forward, and it will get harder, when it gets harder to love, love harder. Thank you very much.
All right, you've had the charge. The work starts now. Thank you for a wonderful conference. Thank you for being here. Let's go out and change this country.